All right, we are live on YouTube. Welcome to a very special episode of Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli. I'm glad you could all join me here tonight. Tonight's show is being dedicated to my wonderful, beautiful, amazing lady that is in the hospital still currently right now, and I will be sharing a lot more regarding, her situation and updates regarding, her status and all of that here in just a little bit. It is Wednesday, December 7th, 2022. If you're here live, if you're here watching on the replay down the road, this is the show you're not going to want to miss because it's going to completely come from the bottom of my heart and soul. And, I'm just, I'll be honest, folks, I'm just a bit all over the place. And I'm doing the very best I can to keep it together, to have the strength to, help this beautiful, wonderful, amazing lady I've been with for almost a year and a half now, recover through some things that she's experienced within her life that have, started to affect her life more so. And I'll share as much as possible with you folks here on this show, as much as I can in the most respectful ways possible. Before we get to that, let me make sure that the YouTube notification has gone out, and it looks like it's gone out. Let me also check out the back end of YouTube and make sure that it is rolling smoothly. It is rolling smoothly. This was a show I was going to do last night after my lady and I were supposed to be back here at my place, which is obviously where I'm at right now. I'll explain more about that as well in just a few. But because of what happened, that show did not happen, and I'm doing that show tonight with even more major updates than I expected. So let's just go ahead and get right to it. And also, by the way, well, let me just read the topic here, and then we'll go through everything. The topic is major updates, and my lady and I want no more drama talk here. One more time, major updates, and my lady and I want no more drama talk here. Let me also do a sound check before we go any further here. Smoothly. This was a show I was going to do. Hey, Sandra, how you doing? Hey, Sandra, welcome to the show. Great to see you here, and thank you for all of your amazing support behind the scenes. First of all, let me give a big shout out to everyone that's a part of the Coach Eli moderator crew. They've been very supportive behind the scenes. But just honorable mentions, Sandra Palacio and Holly from the, Holly's Hauntings and Happenings channel have just been just superb, have just been 10 steps above and beyond. And my lady and I both, greatly appreciate that. We really do. So a few things here before we get to it, and this is not easy, folks. I mean, I felt the need to do this tonight. I want to make everyone aware. I want to do this for my lady. Sandra says, I can hear you. Yeah, okay, great. Thanks, Sandra. Yeah, I did my own sound check, too. Sometimes with the setup I have here, it's very complex, and sometimes there's some static that comes through the microphone, unless I do a few things to prevent that from happening. And I typically will test it, before the show starts. But I also double check it, once the show starts by, clicking on the show through my app. But anyway, so first things first, this is a members only chat. I decided to do this as a members only chat tonight for many reasons, but mainly because it's going to minimize, any trolling or any attacking or any hating. And I don't know why anyone would want to troll or attack or hate this topic here. But there are some crazy people in this world that just will attack you for whatever. And so that's why I made this a members only chat. So that means moderators, you can chat for free. And if you're not a moderator, you will need to purchase at least the $2.99 channel membership package to be able to chat throughout this stream and other members only chats that I do down the road. You can also purchase the $4.99 or greater package. Any package above the $2.99 package. The $2.99 package gets you just members only live chats. But if you purchase any package above that, $4.99 or greater, that's going to get you all of my membership, stuff that I put out on this channel. And just to make you folks aware, I'm going to be putting a lot, if not most or all, of the past content I've done with my lady to members only. I've already, moved over a couple pieces of content. My lady's incredible, journey and incredible transformation story, part 1 and 2, about 8 hours worth of content with her sharing her story. I've made that members only. That means you will need to purchase at least a $4.99 membership package. You can purchase anything between $4.99 and $99.99. They'll all get you the same thing. It's just up to you how much you want to donate to support and sponsor the channel at that point. The $4.99 package will also get you the members only live chats, but the $2.99 package will get you, only the $2.99 or only the members only live chats, which is what I'm trying to say. So that is that. So more of that content will be moved over to members only content. The content that I've done with my lady in the past, most, if not all of it, will move to members only. And future content I do with my lady will more than likely be, done publicly live, but then immediately go to members only once the show ends. It's at our discretion how we want to do it. So, I'm just putting it out there that, most, if not all of that content will go to members only after the public, stream is completed. But we have the right to keep whatever we want, publicly available that we choose. And we have the right to switch it back and forth. So we're just being very transparent with how we're going to be doing things here. Let's see. In addition, tonight, I'm running a special, donation thing for my lady. If you can see here, as you can see here at the bottom left of your screen, it says channel donations for my lady's recovery. All donations that come through during this show, super chats, super stickers, super thanks on the, live stream replay, PayPals and Cash Apps, all of that 100% will be given to my lady. I love this woman to death, and because of what she's been through, which has been out of her control, and I'm going to share more about that. I want to, help her out as much as possible. Based on what happened, it may be a while before she's able to work again. She is helping me with this business, and she was helping me with the side hustle that, we've been doing. But in spite of what happened recently, she's probably not going to be able to work for a while, and that's probably going to be by doctor's orders as well. So anything that you can, spare to, help her out, help us out, we would greatly appreciate it. But that's totally up to you folks. I'm not trying to incite sympathy donations or anything like that. People like to criticize for that. I'm just, trying to do a nice thing here for my lady. It would really make her feel good, that people, care about her that much to the point of where they want to, throw a little money her way to put a smile on her face. It's not all about the money, but money does help out, especially during, what she's going through right now. I'm really having a difficult time putting this out there the right way. So forgive me, folks. This is not an easy show for me to do, but I really wanted to do it for you folks and for my lady too. All right. So we have all of that out of the way. We have all that out of the way. So now I'm going to mention what happened yesterday. A few people know about it behind the scenes, but I'm going to share, what happened and where she's at. So yesterday morning, my lady's been staying with me. She's practically moved in already. We just need to get the, last bit of stuff from her place to my place. And yesterday, we had plans to go down to her neck of the woods, which is a little over an hour away. And she had 2 appointments while, we were out there. She had a night appointment, which I won't get into. It's not a big deal. But she had a day appointment with her doctor at 1:30. And, as we were driving, she was fine the night before. She was fine, the several days before that, the previous several days before that. But during the morning, and as we started to drive, back to her area to go to her doctor's appointment, she started to feel a little uneasy. This is the doctor that, has just not, treated her as best as possible. I'd probably say medicinally and personality-wise. And I had been in the past to an appointment with this doctor, and I really wasn't too fond of this doctor, but what I saw and how I saw her doctor react to her and treat her yesterday, it was just ridiculous. I'm just going to put it that way. I'm going to try to be as respectful as possible. My lady's been through a lot of trauma. And yes, my lady has struggled with alcohol. She's come out and said she's an alcoholic. But she's really, really, slowed down her alcohol consumption. And she's really, really been trying to better her life. For herself, for myself, for us and our families and our friends, and for you folks out here. And this doctor is very old school. If I had to guess this doctor's age, she's probably in her late 50s, maybe early 60s. Has a private practice. Her practice is very old school. Her equipment is very old school. She uses those old school, scales, not digital scales like most doctors use today. And her scale is not even accurate at all. Her scale always has my lady, like 6 or 7 pounds lighter than she actually is. You can't sit here and tell me that 5 different digital scales, put my lady at 105, 106 pounds, and then this old school doctor scale puts her at 96 pounds, 97 pounds. Now, it's either the scale is messed up or this doctor is just writing the wrong thing down just to keep her as a patient longer because because this doctor and many doctors, most doctors, they get kickbacks for prescribing medications. So what happens is you get representatives coming in from, these, drug companies, pharmaceutical companies, and, they offer the doctors kickbacks for prescribing their medication over other similar medications by different companies. Nothing wrong with that as long as you prescribe the right medication for, the patient, right? And not just to, try to profit off your patient. And I've heard from many people in the area where my lady has lived, and many people that know this doctor and have been to this doctor, they call her a pill pusher. They call her a pill pusher. So I think, number one, this doctor is lying about my lady's weight. Either that or her scale is just really messed up. Again, you can't sit here and tell me that 5 digital scales that say the same thing, are wrong compared to an old school metal, out of date, doctor scale. And those are actually supposed to be very, very accurate. And maybe it is accurate, but maybe the doctor is lying and putting the wrong weight down just to lead my lady or her patients to believe that they're not better yet and they need to keep coming back to this doctor, so that way she continues to get kickbacks for prescriptions. Well, anyway, so we got to the appointment, and I'm going to tell you this, folks. It's not easy for me to talk about this, and I know I've only been on for 17 minutes, but I always need to take a break. I got to use the restroom again. I'm sorry. It's just been one of those days. I've been worried about my lady. I'm going to take an early break, and then I'm going to come back for another 30 to 45 minutes straight and finish the show. I'll share with you what happened at the doctor's appointment, where we went after that, and then where we went after that, and what happened there, and how my lady ended up in the hospital and what's really going on, and I'll go into as much detail as possible, as much as I can. So forgive me, I got to take an early break. It's not easy. It's just not easy, folks, but I'm sure most of you that, have a heart and soul understand. So I'm going to just cue up some music here. And when I come back, I'm not even going to do the intro. I'm just going to get right back to it. So I'm just going to use the restroom and top off my coffee real quick and try to get back as soon as possible. Let me see here. All right, folks, music is all queued up, and I'm going to step away for a quick break, and we'll see you on the flip side. Please share this out on your community tabs, share it out on social media, subscribe, bang the bell, select the notifications, consider making a donation for my lady's recovery fund. We would greatly appreciate it. So stick around, and we'll be right back. All right, we're back. We're back. Oh my God, Clive Owen. I don't know who you are, but thank you so much for your $200 super chat. Oh my God, man. Whoever you are, God bless you, man. Thank you so much. Oh my God, my lady's gonna be so thrilled, man. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it, man. It's a lot of money. It's like the biggest donation I've ever received. You know, if people want to make fun of me for shedding a tear, I don't care. God bless you, man. Hey, Coach J-Rom, Clive, we're not done with you yet, man. We're gonna keep appreciating you. Hey, Tam. Let me update the fund. Oh, we're very grateful and thankful for that, man. It's hard to be happy right now, man. I'm trying to be happy, man. Hey, Tam. I'm trying to be real happy. This is just hard. It's hard, and the amount of scrutiny that my lady and I have received out here from people that have been through these things, and they attack me for whatever reason, and my lady, and they try to criticize me for not handling things the right way. I'm doing the best I can with what I've got. Thank you so much for your $200 super chat, Clive. May you have the best holiday season ever, man. Let me just make sure my audio is going through. Give me a second, folks. Please. I've been through these things, and they attack me for whatever reason. You know, Clive, you've probably been around for many, many years, and you've seen the amount of unnecessary and unreasonable scrutiny that I've received. And even since my lady came out here with me just to create and share our stories and to help other people that are going through similar things, to be attacked so hard, it's affected me, it's affected her. And we do the best we can to ignore it and to rise above it. And that's another thing I'm doing here tonight is, no more drama talk here on this channel. But I know there are a lot of people out there that have known about me for years and have been following the whole story. And it hasn't been easy, folks. It hasn't been easy. Audio is fine, Eli. Thank you. Yeah, I just checked that. Thank you, Tam. There's a 1 minute delay between what I put out here, what I say, and what goes out to YouTube. So thank you so much for that, Tam. Again, thank you, Clive. We'll continue to thank you throughout the show. That's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. Sorry, I'm late. It's been a long day. Headed to a possible new venture in North Dakota, says Coach J-Rom. No worries, Coach J-Rom, man. Come and go as you wish. No need to apologize, but thank you, man. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. Let me continue where I left off. We got to her doctor's appointment. My lady was shaking. And, has affected, her ability to go number one and number two. I'll just put it to you this way. When you're that scared to go visit your doctor because you're afraid your doctor is going to criticize you instead of try to help you, it affects your bowels. It affects, your abilities to, urinate properly, and it's affected my lady. And there's no shame in this. And I just will not tolerate anyone criticizing this at all. We'll just ignore it. I'm just sharing with you folks how this has affected my lady. And I'm beginning to look back at the time where she started seeing this doctor about a year ago. And after every time that she's gone to this doctor, which is what I'm trying to say, she's been more traumatized. Her trauma is heightened at the highest level after seeing this doctor. So we went in to go see her doctor. She weighed her, like I said earlier. The scale said 6, 7, 8 pounds less than every other scale that she stepped on. I've got a top of the line white things digital scale, cost me $100. And I know there are better scales. This is a great Wi-Fi scale I've had for years. Very accurate. Very accurate. And she stepped on other scales, her scale and other scales too. And they all say, 7, 8 pounds, something like that, 6, 7, 8 pounds greater. We went into the room, and the doctor came in, and my lady was shaking. And the doctor, was asking her, some questions regarding, her alcohol and stuff like that. Now, those of you that have had a drinking problem, and those of you even that haven't, understand that if you drink alcohol regularly, even 1 beer a day or 2 beers a day, there are many people that drink a beer or 2 a day. If you get your body used to drinking alcohol, it becomes dependent on the alcohol. Just like for me, I drink caffeine every day, so I'm like caffeine dependent. And then when you try to withdraw from that because you don't want to drink anymore and you want to, become clean and sober, it affects your body. So in order to get there, you need support from your doctors and your friends and your family. You need emotional support and therapy and all that. And people in this state should not be attacked at all. I feel that my lady's doctor, the way she approaches her with her tough love approach, is not only unprofessional, it's detrimental to her recovery. And it's making it worse. This doctor had the nerve to say some things even about me enabling this. And I don't enable anything. I understand how withdrawal syndromes work. I understand it. I've never been an alcoholic. Yeah, I have a drink every now and then. In my younger days, I used to drink a little bit more. But I never drank to the point of where, I became alcohol dependent. And I've never been an alcoholic. And I've never been one that drinks daily. I'll have a drink every now and then. Glass of wine, maybe a beer or something. And it's not that I don't like beer or wine. I just don't feel the need to have beer or wine all the time because here's the thing. It's like when detoxing sucks, says Coach Jerome. Yeah, thank you, bro. I appreciate that. Oh, you telling me about it? That's what she's going through right now. That's exactly what I think she's going through, right? And a lot of people out here on YouTube have been saying that, she needs to go to rehab. And yeah, I agree with that, but it's not my choice. You can't force people to do things. You got to take things slowly. Like a lot of people out here think that that, I'm not supporting my lady in the right way. I'm trying to do whatever I can, but she's a grown adult. And no matter how much you tactfully try to get her to do the right thing, she has to choose to do that on her own. And I'm not going to be blamed for that. But people that don't like me, Coach J-Rom, are going to blame me for everything. So I don't value those opinions, you know what I'm saying? But I appreciate yours, bro. Detoxing does suck. It does. So this doctor, this is how rude this doctor is. And I didn't take offense to it. I played it cool because that's the kind of guy I am. I'm very professional. I'm very respectful. I'm very mature. Just because I've had a few moments on YouTube where I wasn't years ago doesn't mean I don't handle things the right way. But this doctor said, she goes, well, if you're allowing her to do this, then, you're in a codependent relationship. Now, this doctor is not only a primary care physician, she's also a therapist, right? And I understand to a certain degree, doctors, are going to try to give you some advice, but a pediatrician is not a therapist, right? It's scary for those around you as well. Yeah, it is, bro. It really is. And again, there's a 1 minute delay between what I say here and what goes out, so please forgive the delay. Yeah, so this doctor thinks that we're in a codependent relationship. No one else has said that besides this doctor and a group of my haters out here that just don't like anything I do. And no, we are not in a codependent relationship. I love this woman with all my heart and all my soul. I chose her. She chose me. Just because she has some trauma and issues doesn't mean, I don't want to be with her. I do. And she's worth it to me because she has the biggest heart and soul I've ever encountered in my life. And that's all I want and need from someone. And she's trying. She's been trying all these years to get the right help and support to work through this. But even her doctors haven't supported her in the way that I feel she needs support. I've taken it all on me because I love her. And in many ways, I'm a lot like her. With the exception of the alcohol, in many ways, I'm a lot like her. I'm a very emotional guy. I'm not going to lie. I'm a very emotional guy. I am. And I'm not saying I'm emotional in a bad way. I just care about people. I care about humanity. I care about everything, in the world. And wish no harm upon anyone, even my enemies. And my lady's the same way. We wish no harm upon anyone, including our enemies. Again, thank you, Clive Owen, for your $200 super chat. I'm going to keep mentioning that. It's probably going to stay highlighted for a while due to the amount. Thank you, man. Thank you very much. If you're still around. Yeah, and then she started attacking my lady on her drinking and saying that, she needs to stop. And she was criticizing my lady on taking her medication the wrong way. And not doing her medication in the right order, and not taking enough of it. And I thought she was doing it the right way. The doctor said that she had given my lady a list on how to take the medication, but my lady would have told me that if she had the list. So the doctor wrote out another list, and I actually have that list now, and I'm going to make sure she takes the right medication. And we're going to be getting her to a new doctor soon, and she's probably never going to go back to this doctor again, even though this doctor already made another appointment with her for next month. She's not going back to this doctor, so help me God. I'm not going to put her through the torment that this doctor is putting her through just because this doctor wants to tough love my lady back into, into gear. You don't do that to someone that's been emotionally traumatized and is very sensitive. You don't handle things that way. You don't do that. You don't do that. Yeah, she kept on criticizing my lady. She had a panic attack in the doctor's office, and the doctor did nothing about it. She had a panic attack. And panic attacks will wear you out. They make you weak. They make you very weak. I've had a few panic attacks years ago from things that happened out here on YouTube. And it makes you very weak. It drains your energy to the point of where you don't feel like doing anything the rest of the day, and you can barely stand on your own feet. Bottom line. The appointment ended. My lady was feeling hungry. And the next appointment we had wasn't until 4 o'clock. And at this point, it was like 2 o'clock, and her appointment was right down the way from where we were at, and her place is right around that area too, her current place that she's moving out of. So we went to the supermarket, and we got some nice sandwiches from a nice supermarket in her area, some gourmet sandwiches, got her some soup, got this nice big huge salted pretzel like you would get at the ballpark. Those pretzels that would cost you like, 10 to 12 to 13 bucks. Well, they were $4.95 at the supermarket. And so we got one of those and got some other things. And then we headed back to our place, which was just a few minutes away. And we got to her place and hadn't seen her dogs in a little while. It had been 4 or 5 days since we were there to see her dogs, and her landlord, that there's a in-law unit that she rents separate, from the main house. Her landlord that lives in the main house was taking care of her dogs, and she has a few friends that live nearby that take care of the dogs, feed them, and let them out to go pee and poo and all that stuff, and give them water and all that. So they were all taken care of. But we were happy to see the dogs. They were excited. We were sitting there. We were eating. Everything was good. And so we were in my lady's, it's kind of like a studio apartment. But there are a couple of rooms. And there's like the kitchen room and the dining room, and then there's the bathroom. They're on the other side of the bedroom / living room with the TV and the couch and all that. Well, I was, sitting down, just, finishing my food on the couch. And she said, okay, I'm going to go start just packing a few things in the other room, which is literally right around the corner. And she walked around the corner. I couldn't see her because it's blind. And it's like, okay, she seemed fine at that point. But when she turned the corner, she grabbed the bag. She's going to put some stuff in the bag. I heard her fall, and I heard her start crying. And I immediately ran over there, and I saw her seizing up. I immediately pulled out my phone and called 911. And I was just distraught. I'm like, this is happening way too much. And it's been happening more so around the times where she goes and sees this doctor. She was drained. She was emotionally drained from going to see her doctor because she fears her doctor. And all her doctor has done is attack her. So I can't blame her for that, right? I called 911, and I've read a lot about seizures. So what you're supposed to do is just let them lay down. Apparently she was right by the wall. So she slid down the wall and fell. So she didn't fall hard. There was no blood. She did not hit her head. She was down on her butt. I was on the phone with 911. They responded in less than 5 minutes. They were there. The fire truck comes first. The firemen or the firefighters, respectfully, ladies. It just so happened to be that they were all males. Like it's no disrespect. I respect women doing these jobs, but most of the time you're still going to get the majority male firefighters and even paramedics. Most of them are male. I don't get it. There are some females, but the men outnumber the women. As firefighters and paramedics. No disrespect. It's just how it is. So, the firemen showed up, and my lady got up. And actually, let me back up a second. My lady stood up, and she's like, "What happened?" I said, "I think you had a seizure. I think you fell." And she was very distraught. And she was starting to walk towards the door to go outside. And I went and I held her. I wrapped my arm around her and stabilized her, right? I knew the firemen. I could hear the fire truck coming. I knew they were, going to be at the front of the house. Her place is in the back. So I was going to have to go and, get the firemen to come to the back house, her place, right? The in-law unit, right? And instead, I held her. I brought her to the front. And we flagged the firemen down. They came in. And there was a chair in the front of the main house. And they sat her down. And she was just very, very scared and very shaken. And they were just trying to calm her down. And they did. We all did. I was there for her. And they said, "Well, we need to take you down to the hospital." And she's like, "No, I don't want to go. I refuse. I got to tell you about my lady. Love her to death. She's a strong woman. And she has the biggest heart and soul. And she takes care of everyone. She takes care of me, her family. She takes care of everyone. She used to be a nurse herself. But when it comes to herself, it's like she doesn't want to go to the hospital. And she's told me before it's because she fears she's going to get bad news at the hospital." Well, everyone has the same fears. Like, I have the same fears too. Like, I don't want to ever go to the hospital and them tell me something, I don't want to hear. But like, what if it's something that can be taken care of and can save your life or something like that? You got to go. And she kept on refusing. And she was so distraught because of what happened. And I think it stems back to her doctor's appointment that the paramedics, they forced her to go. They would not release her. And I'm glad that they did that. Again, thank you, Clive Owen, for your $200. That's how I am, man. I never stop thanking people for any donations. Give me a second here. Let me make sure the sound's still coming through okay. And them tell me something. So they were able to get her on the what do they call it, the stretcher, and they put her in the ambulance. They told me where she was going to be. And I said, "Okay, I'll be down there in 5 or 10 minutes. I got to grab a few things, and I'll be down there." So I went back in her place, grabbed whatever I needed to grab, and drove down to the hospital. It was quite a big line. It was busy. And I actually, I always think ahead. Um, I grabbed her ID and her insurance card, and I knew obviously because she got transported by the ambulance that, she's not going to check in. When you have an emergency like that, they do that after. But I had her ID, I had her, her driver's license, and I had her, insurance card, and I waited in line and I checked her in. They made a photocopy of both, gave them back to me, and then they allowed me to go in and be with her. Now, when I got into the room she was put in, she was supposed to actually be taken to ICU, the intensive care unit, which, I was thinking, well, why would she need to be in the ICU? But maybe this is something that's considered intensive care when you have seizures and stuff. And you learn something new. I've never dealt with anyone in my life having seizures before, but people get them, So I went back to the room. I saw her, and they were trying to get her to relax. She did not. When my lady doesn't want to do something, she's a fighter. She did not want to go to the hospital, even though it's the best place for her. And deep within, she knows it. If she's forced to go somewhere, she's going to fight it, even at the hospital with the nurses and the doctors, right? That's, I mean, who wants to do something they don't want to do, right? Who really wants to go to the hospital ever? No one, but you got to go in these situations. You got to suck it up and go. I got in there, and within 5 minutes, she started to have another major seizure. And they started to give her this drug, I believe it's called Adderall, for this situation. And they were giving her Adderall. She literally had like 7 or 8 nurses, all RNs. Like, this hospital had a good staff. There were like 7 or 8 RNs. And then there was one doctor on duty, and the doctor was there and was just saying, I believe it's called Adderall, is what it's called. And I'm not going to get too far into it. I'm sure some people know what Adderall is. I have never dealt with anyone that has seizures. But it's a stimulant. It's supposed to also, I guess, calm them down. It's kind of like when animals get tranquilized. It just calms them down. It like sedates them. They were giving her Adderall, and she was still fighting. She's fighting she got a couple doses, and they kept giving her more. I guess, you can give up to a certain point if people don't react or respond to it. They gave her quite a bit of Adderall from what I noticed. I'm sure there's a maximum point, and I'm sure they probably had to get to that maximum amount because it literally took them 10 to 15 minutes to get her to stop just, trying to resist. She was shaking around and she didn't want to be there. And I think she felt like she was being held beyond her own free will. My lady's been in some abusive relationships. She's dealt with abandonment issues in the past. She's been through a lot. And this is going to affect people, folks. This is just what happens, right? So they got her to calm down, relax, and then she was able to sleep. Now, this was at about around the 3 o'clock hour, 3 p.m. that it happened. And this was around maybe 4 or 5 at this point when she had that seizure, Pacific time. I may have to take one more break before I finish the rest of the story because there's more to talk about. So I ended up staying with her, and they allowed me to stay in the room that she was in. And I was just there, just watching her, monitoring they have the monitors that monitor your oxygen level, and they also monitor your heart rate, your beats per second. Sorry, your beats per minute. Sorry, beats per minute, not beats per second. if you had 100 beats per second, I think you wouldn't survive. I think your heart would explode. No disrespect intended. But anyway, so I was monitoring this thing, and it was scary because my woman doesn't like things attached to her. So she kept disconnecting the, monitoring system, and it would freak me out because it would say the screen would show question mark or no pulse. And I'm like, oh man, then I go and I look at her and she's still breathing and moving. And you gotta understand, it's like when you see this, right, on the screen, and you've seen all these TV shows where the thing flatlines, it's like you're thinking, is this happening to her now? But then you look at her and she's breathing. Then the nurses come in because then the system alarms, beep, 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 beep. And then the nurses run in and they're like, oh, she disconnected. She doesn't like things being attached to her. I'm like, nope, she's a fighter. Yeah, we can tell. Yeah. Yes, she is. They kept connecting the thing. She kept disconnecting it. At that, finally I realized, okay, it's just my lady doesn't like shit hooked up to her, So I sat there for many, many, many hours. I had some food with me, had some water and stuff, some soda. I sat there. She would wake up every now and then, and I would talk with her. I also, my lady and I, we have passwords to each other's stuff because we love each other. We trust each other. I had her phone, and I had, the password to her phone. I'm sure it's been one heck of an emotional roller coaster for you both. It has, man. It has. It has. I got her phone, and we're supposed to hang out with one of her friends that helps, one of her male friends and her male friend's girlfriend. We're supposed to hang out with them a little bit, and I wanted to text the guy to make him aware of what happened. And I got on her phone. I did that. I also sent a text message to her mother, my lady's mother. My lady's mother called back, and was grateful and thankful that I'm there and I'm staying there with her. And I also reached out to the person that my lady had an appointment with and made them aware of what happened. Folks, you got to be prepared for these things. If you have a significant other and you love them and you love each other, you got to trust each other to the point of where you have each other's passwords and information. Like if you're going to be with someone and an emergency happens, there are things that you need to take care of. You still need to take care of things. And fortunately, her and I had the relationship to the point of where I was able to take care of these things. Sent my mother some text messages, made her aware of what was going on. She gave us her blessing. My mom worries a lot. My mom's a big worrywart. My mom kept texting me throughout the night. Like, we're good. There's nothing more we can do. You know, don't get me wrong. My lady's mother loves her to death. But this is just how crazy my mom is. It's not a bad thing. I love my mom. I've said before in the past, my mom is like the hawk. Like she will always watch over her kids, even in our 40s, and she's in her 70s. She's still the hawk. I can't blame her for that. My mother was texting me more about my lady than her own mother. No disrespect to her mother. Her lady's mother was there. And she was there, trust me. She was. She's a great person. But my mom is just like, my mom is a nurturing extremist, if that even makes sense. Like my mother is overwhelmingly nurturing. And I'm not complaining about that. It gets annoying at times, but I get it. And I'd rather have that than no nurturing love at all. You know? Thanks again, Clive Owen, for your $200. I want to keep thanking you. It's a lot of money. God bless you, man. So, I was sitting with her throughout the evening into the early, overnight, morning after midnight, and the nurses, they had some nurses change shifts. And then the main nurse that was taking care of her, she had all the nurses in there initially when she was seizing, but then she had one main nurse. And I kept saying, am I going to be able to stay here overnight and watch her? And she's like, you cause no issues. You got your mask on. I have no problem with it. I'll let the other nurse know that's taking over, and it's going to be up to her. The other nurse came in after this other nurse was off at 9:15 p.m. Pacific time, and she was cool, let me stay. Now we're at about 3 a.m. Well, I started to get tired at around 12 or 1 a.m. and I was taking some naps, in the room that my lady was in. I had a couple chairs there. I made a makeshift bed. And then I even got on the ground and just used the chairs to put my arms and just to kind of lean back against the wall. And I just I took a few naps, probably like 30 to 45 minutes each. They did help. I will tell you, power naps, folks, in that situation where you got to be there and you want to be there for someone, take some power naps, but your ears are still going to hear things. So when my lady would wake up, I would wake up and I would say, "Hey, babe, how you doing?" And she was smiling, and then she'd go right back to sleep. They, shot her up with so much Adderall that it's like she would come in and out. But I got, I was able to get some decent power naps in. And then at around 3 a.m., the nurse came in, and they were gonna make a change. And that's where I'm gonna stop here right now and take a full break, and then come back for another maybe 30, 40 minutes and finish the rest of the story. I didn't think it was gonna take this long, but I want to make sure I get this out the right way. We are at 1 hour and 4 minutes. So let me go ahead and cue up some more music here. Probably gonna take a full break this time just to rest my voice. It's been pretty crazy. Let me see here. All right, folks, music is all queued up. I'm going to step away for a break here. I'm not going to do the full intro when I get back. I'll just get right back to it, but it'll be a bit longer, probably 7 or 8 minutes, maybe a little less. Again, thank you to Clive Owen for the $200 super chat donation. Folks, please share this out. Please like this stream. Please share this out. This would make my lady happy to see good numbers here. It will make her feel like the effort she's put in, which I already know her efforts have made this channel, not me. It's not me. I do my part, don't get me wrong. But my lady has been the main reason why this channel, Coach Eli 2, even is monetized and, has started to get some really good traction. It's because of her. And, getting more likes and more views. And it's not about the money, but in this case, that would make a statement showing how much people really, really, truly care, So please like this stream, share it out on your community tab, share it out on social media. And if you care to donate tonight via super chat at the bottom of the chat, super sticker, or even, super thanks on the replay once it gets done processing, or even by Cash App or PayPal. Nightbot's sharing my Cash App and PayPal links in the chat every 7 minutes. All that money, 100% of that money is going to my lady. This is the channel donation fund for my lady's recovery. Not trying to make anyone feel bad. But she's probably going to have to take some time away from working to recover. I don't know if they're going to allow her to file for disability. I hope they do. If not, I will do whatever I can to support her. I always have supported her. And, she has some savings, but, savings are going to go fast, when you're not working. And until you figure out if you can go on temporary disability. And this is a woman that doesn't play the system. We're not people that play the system. This is a woman that's dealing with something, in my opinion, that's out of her control. And I want to do whatever I can to help her work through it. So please consider making a donation. It would greatly help her and help us. With that being said, stick around, and we'll be right back. welcome back to the show, everybody. I'm not going to do the regular intro, obviously. I'm not in the mood to do it tonight, so forgive me. Welcome back. Tonight, we've been discussing major updates, and my lady and I want no more drama talk here. One more time, the topic is major updates, and my lady and I want no more drama talk here. And I'll speak briefly about the no more drama talk towards the end of the show. This will be the final segment here. Going to go another maybe 30 minutes or so, maybe 40 at the most. And then I need to wrap this up and get some good rest, because more than likely I'll be picking up my lady tomorrow from the hospital. I'll share more about that. I'm still not sure yet, but let me just continue on with the story. Again, thank you, Clive Owen, for the $200 super chat. Folks, if you want to donate tonight in any way, super chat, super sticker on the replay, super thanks, Cash App, PayPal, Nightbot sharing those links in the chat. 100% of tonight's donations are going directly to my lady. And it's even more than just about the money. It's just the thought, the consideration. This woman is so worth it. And, you know, there are so many ways to show that someone is worth it beyond money. But let's face the facts. Money talks, folks. It does. Money talks. And I hate to even say that, because I'm not a money hungry type of guy, but it takes money to survive, and it does talk. And thanks again, Clive. You made a big, big statement tonight. Whoever you are, again, God bless you, man. God bless you. Happy holidays to you and your family and your loved ones, man. All right, so let's continue where we left off, but let me first of all make sure that my audio still sounds good. Let's see. Tonight's donations are going directly to my lady. And all right, still sounds good. There is, again, a 1 minute delay between what I say and what goes out to you folks on YouTube, so that's why it can be a little confusing at times, but I have that as a safety mechanism in case something is said to the point of where I can cut it off. I can dump the delay before it goes out to YouTube and then start right back up. Now on the replay, YouTube just pieces it together nice and neatly. That's awesome. Thank you to the 15 people that are still here right now and the 15 likes. Please smash the thumbs up and share this out. We would greatly appreciate it. Oh yeah, and one more thing. This is a members only chat. So if you're not a moderator or a channel member for at least at the $2.99 level, in order to chat, you will either need to purchase a minimum $2.99 channel membership for members only live chats whenever I do them, such as this show here. Or if you're not a channel member or a moderator, you can send a super chat or super sticker, and those will go through. And again, like I mentioned earlier, I've got some content that's going to be members only content, some of my past content on here, some of my past streams. I've already got a couple of pieces I've moved over to members only content. If you want to access those, you need to purchase at least the $4.99 monthly channel membership. There are other packages between $4.99 and $99.99 that you can choose. They will all get you the same thing. The members only, videos and live stream chats. It's just up to you how much you want to donate between $4.99 and $99.99 to sponsor and support the channel. The $2.99 package will just get you members only live chats, or if I do premiere videos, they'll get you access to be able to chat in the members only premiere videos that have a live stream chat as well, or a live chat as well, I mean. All right, so we left it at the point where it was around 3 a.m. The nurse came in and said that your lady's going to be moved to the ICU. And I'm like, I started to freak out for a second. Not really freak out, but I was like, well, what? Well, we were going to put her there initially, but there weren't any rooms available. Oh, okay. So she was going to go there initially. And in the ICU, they have nicer rooms and they have more equipment there. And they have, more nurses and doctors available, and they better know how to handle, these, intense situations. And initially I was just wondering, why is she going to ICU, intensive care unit? Well, I guess this is considered an intensive situation. So, and they said they were, one of the rooms was becoming available. They were cleaning it up, and then they're going to transport her there. But I'm not going to be able to go and stay there because of COVID restrictions. And my lady, when she heard that, she started to panic a little bit. And I was able to talk with her and calm her down and let her know it's going to be okay. So what I decided to do at that point, it still took them almost another 2 hours to get it set. It was closer to 4:30 or 5 in the morning, where they finally were going to move her. And all my lady had with her was her phone. I had charged up her phone in my car to like 60-something%. I told her, use it sparingly, reach out to me, and I can reach out to you. And I said, you know what, babe, I'm going to go sleep at your place, hang out with the dogs, and make sure that they have food and water still and all that. I had just given them food and water. Earlier. I forgot to mention I had made a separate trip earlier to her place to give her dogs food and water and stuff like that. So, she ended up going to ICU. I ended up going over to her place. I got there shortly after 5 a.m. Dogs were happy to see me. It was pretty cold in the place, so I turned on the heat, and I snuggled up with the dogs. And the dogs could tell there was something wrong. These dogs really, really love my lady. These dogs have been there for my lady. And where she lives, it's an older home. It's an older area. And I'll just put it to you this way. It's not the place is not horrible. It's just not. It's not an ideal place for her to be living in. And she's been living there for a while because, the rent is pretty cheap. And I don't need to get into all of that. She had an ex-boyfriend. That's not a bad guy. They're still friends and they still share custody of the dogs. And I'm totally cool with that. This guy has a new girlfriend now and she's with me. And, he's just been still very helpful and supportive. And normally I wouldn't be okay with this, but he's cool. It's like, I've grown up, I'm mature. There's nothing going on between them. And, it's like, if you could be friends with someone, after you split up and be honestly good friends like this guy is with her, then so be it. I've got no reason to worry about it, so I'm not going to worry about it. And he's actually been a pretty good guy, very helpful. And we greatly appreciate him as well. So I got into bed with the dogs, and I left some text messages to my lady's mother overnight. Texted my lady, made her aware I made it safely to her place. I'm with the dogs. I'm sleeping in her bed. I finally was able to fall asleep probably at around 5:30 or so, or 6. And I slept until about 10 o'clock. So I slept about 4, maybe 4.5 hours. And I had my phone, I had my jacket on. I was just sleeping with my jacket on. I had my phone on vibrate, but I had it in my jacket pocket so I could feel it vibrating. I didn't want to put it on ring because, when it rings, the dogs will go crazy, right? And my lady was trying to call me around like 9:30 or 9:45. And I missed her call. Ended up calling her back. She picked up. This was shortly after 10. And I said, I'm going to, she needed her glasses and she needed a charger for her phone. So I found her glasses. Her glasses actually had fallen off because she was wearing them when she had the seizure, the initial seizure at her place, where I had to call 911. At that time earlier in that day yesterday. And I found her glasses, got them, cleaned them up. I mean, they weren't dirty, but you want to clean them up so there's no debris on them so she can see clearly. Got her charger for her phone, and ended up getting my stuff, and I headed over to the hospital. And what they had told me the night before, before I left to go sleep at my lady's place, they told me that, Coach Eli says, psychologists say if you can be friends with an ex, you either still love them or never did. I understand where you're coming from on that, Coach Jairam, and in most cases, I would agree with you. Like, honestly, you are right about that. This is just a very different, and there's always an exception to what I've grown to learn in life, Coach Jairam, is there's always an exception to every rule, right? And this is just one of those rare exceptions where everything is cool, but I get what you're saying. I totally get what you're saying. And, you're probably right. I think my lady, this guy he's a good guy. She just didn't see any future potential with him because he, he's been working a security job for a while overnight. And, my lady was able to get him a job closer to home when they were together, making twice the amount of money, but he would have to work during the day. And anyone in their right mind, Coach Jairam, would take a job closer to home that pays you pretty much twice what you're making. Anyone in their right mind would take that, but this guy decided to not take that job and still drive like 45, 50 minutes each way to work this job at night when there's nobody there because, no disrespect, it's just a simple job and it's laziness. I'd say she never did. Well, yeah. Well, she probably loved the guy, but probably not in love with him. And maybe it was the same thing on the flip side. Maybe that was a codependent relationship. Maybe it was a codependent relationship that, where they were more friends all along than lovers. That could very well be the case. I'm not a psychiatrist, so I can't tell you that, but I mean, using common sense like you and I both have, yeah, I mean, you're probably right about that. You're probably right. So I get to the hospital. I go in. It was a different part of the hospital. There's the emergency side. And because she was moved to ICU, intensive care unit, I went to the main part of the hospital, went in there, made them aware of what I'm here for. They gave me a visitor badge, and they told me where to go. And I'm walking down the halls. It was hard to find this place. I ran across a couple of doctors and nurses, and they were very kind, and they showed me where to go because to enter the ICU, it says authorized personnel only. And I got to the door where I was told to go by another doctor and another, I think it was a nurse. I asked, where's the ICU? Oh, it's right in here. Let me let you in. I said, oh, I saw the door there. It says authorized personnel only. So no, you're good. Go in. No. Okay. So I go in there and I saw the nurse. And it was a male nurse, and I love seeing male nurses because I know JT, Jonathan Tuttle, a moderator here and a buddy of mine, he's a male nurse, and I've known a few other male nurses. I really respect male nurses because they're very nurturing men. I think I could have been a male nurse, Coach Jairam and Tam. I would have probably made a pretty good male nurse, but I don't know. I'll be honest. I have a little bit of an ego. Let's be real. I have a little bit of an ego. So if I was going to get into the medical field, I would want to be the doctor. Like I would just, I'm trying to humor myself. All right. I would want to be the doctor. Right. But I could have probably made a pretty damn good male nurse. Okay. Anyway, So I go in there and I'm talking to the gentleman, the nurse, and very, very good guy. They told me they're going to have to keep her one more night, at least one more night. They said that, when she's laying down and rested, everything is normal. But when she gets up in a panicky mode, her oxygen levels go down. Her heart rate's fine, but her oxygen levels fluctuate. And I said, yeah, she's, that's been something that's been an issue of hers, for the last 15 plus years. And that's something not related to any of the alcohol or anything like that. She uses marijuana for medicinal purposes, for anxiety and depression, and she likes to drink beer. She likes to drink a few beers every day. So I was like, oh man, okay. So at that point, I had a decision to make because I was just they wouldn't allow me to stay in there longer than a few minutes. I guess due to COVID rules and laws, maybe it's nationwide here in the U.S. or maybe just in California. But you're only allowed to visit in the ICU at this hospital. I mean, I guess every hospital has their own rules, but they're probably similar. You can only visit between 10 a.m. and 6 p.m., and you can only visit for a short amount of time. And they even have parking spots at the front of this hospital, 30-minute parking. Lots of them. So it makes sense, right? Now, she was asleep. I didn't get a chance to talk with her. But I told the nurse that I brought her glasses. My lady likes to call them eyeballs. She's so cute when she says that. Where are my eyeballs? I finally brought her eyeballs. They were at her place. They had fallen off her when she had the initial seizure that I had to call 911 on at her place earlier on the day. I brought her charger. The nurse let me stay in there a few minutes by herself. I mean, they were probably going to let me stay in there for 20, 30 minutes, but she was asleep and, there was really not much I could do. If I couldn't stay there all day, I mean, and she's sleeping, like, what can I do? I'm trying to be supportive, right? But what can I do, right? I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place. So I got the nurse to come back in. I said, is there any place we can plug this in so we can keep her phone charged? And he plugged it in. She got her glasses, her eyeballs, like she calls them, and her phone. And at that point, I told the nurse that I'm just going to head home. We've been in progress of moving from her area to my area in Redwood City, over an hour away. I'm going to end up going home and staying the night there, and she can have her update me in the morning if she gets released, and I'll come and I'll pick her up. And he said, okay. So I texted my lady's mother. I texted my lady from the parking lot before I left. I texted a bunch of people, and then I headed home. This was around, I was at the ICU probably around 11:30 or so. I think I was out of there by about 12 noon. And then I got home at around 1:15 or 1:30 in the afternoon. And my lady texted me back, and we talked by phone. And we talked by phone a few times. The last time we talked by phone was probably around, 5 or 6 this evening. She was very, very tired. And she told me that they gave her more Adderall. And what that's telling me is, she's trying to get up and probably trying to leave. She doesn't want to be there. And she's probably very disoriented. And that happens when you're in these situations. So as of this point, I haven't heard from her for the last 4 hours. She's probably sleeping. She may get up in the middle of the night and text me or call me. I'm going to have my phone next to me, and I'm always there for her. I always take her call. And that's that's where we're at. We're really trying to figure out what's causing these seizures. It more than likely is alcohol withdrawal. And they did mention that last night before she got transferred to the ICU in the morning. And it's like Coach Eli said earlier, withdrawals are just, they're hard. It's hard. It's really hard. Plus, my lady's just going through a lot emotionally. Her daughter's not talking with her. This move is a lot on her, and just a bunch of other things. She's been dealing with abandonment, and so that's why it's hard for me to not be there with her right now. But I can't. I mean, if I could be there with her, I would have been there with her all day, even still right now. But those are the rules, and so there's nothing more I can do. It's in the hands of the doctors and the nurses, and it's like, she's got great care, and yeah, I'm here and at home at my place, and yeah, I'm worried about her, but there's nothing more you can do right now. It's just a sit and wait game, and hope and pray for the best. A lot of people, her mother and some other people, including myself, have encouraged her to go to rehab. And it's not that she doesn't want to go. She just doesn't want to be away from us for 2 or 3 months. But I don't know. I'm thinking that may be the only way to completely, stop this. I'm going to find out from the doctors tomorrow, what they suggest. She's got a lot going on. She needs a vacation. Well, yeah, dude. And pretty much, she's been helping me with this side hustle. And, she hasn't worked her, retail management job for many months. She has money to survive for a little bit. I don't know how long that's going to last. But here's the thing. I'm not going to let her run out of money. I'm not. And that's why, that's another reason why I started to work this side hustle that, I've been talking about lately with her, because that money is going to her. That money is going to her. I mean, if it was just me, single, it wouldn't, I'd be fine. And I'm still going to be fine. But no, I did this side hustle because, she wanted to feel like she was earning more money until our business takes off here on YouTube, because she's been helping me do that. But she has been, taking time off when she's at my place. She's resting a lot, and I don't have her do anything. I just give her as much love as possible. But at the same time, she gets bored and she wants to go out and do things. But, it's like you go out and do things and you have a seizure while you're out there. It's like you can't. I can't put her in that position. It's been a struggle to try to keep her safe from these seizures and have another accident. And the best way to do that is, until she's ready to go to the doctors and get the help, like she finally did, or even go to rehab, keeping her safe at home, is the best thing. I'm not trying to keep her locked up or anything. No, I just want to protect her, But I think this happening and her, finally going to the hospital on it, and they keeping her for a couple of days, it's almost kind of like a mini rehab. But I know there are a lot of people out here. Let me wrap up by saying this, okay? Another maybe 5 or 10 minutes, and we're going to go off the air. So get any final questions that you folks have in the chat. I know it's primarily my haters, and look, I don't pay that much attention to it anymore. And it's not that I'm trying to do drama talk here, but a lot of these people are scrutinizing me, saying, "Oh, he needs to get her into rehab, and she needs to do this." I understand that. I understand that. But you also have to understand that you can't force anyone to do anything they don't want to do. At the end of the day, my lady's a grown-ass 47-year-old woman. And if she refuses to go somewhere, unless she's mandated to go somewhere, then if she doesn't go, then there are consequences with the law. But if someone's not mandated to do something, they have to choose to do that on their own free will. And it doesn't matter what I say, what her mother says, what my mother says, what anyone else says. She has to choose to do that. So as much as people want to come at me, first of all, people that have been hating on me for many years, that are trying to maybe not give me advice, but try to, it's kind of like an attack. Like I don't think anyone that's attacked me in the past maliciously, or my lady maliciously, they have the right to even say anything. You can't have it both ways. You can't sit there and attack me all these years and then attack my lady for the last 6 to 8 months and then try to come out and give us advice on what to do. We already know what to do. We have common sense. I have common sense. And I would really appreciate it, even for those people, that the hateful people out there, have a heart and just let us handle this in the same ways that, you would want to be treated, right? Treat us the way you'd want to be treated. Coach Jerome says people will only get help when they are ready for help. Right. People will only get help when they are ready for help. Like Coach Jerome, it's not fair, and I don't care. People can talk all they want. It's their freedom of speech, right? I don't care if people talk shit about me, right? But when it comes to things like this, yeah. Do I feel she needs to go to rehab? If it was up to me, yes. Does her mother feel that way? Yes. But it's up to her. She has to choose to want to do it. And I don't think it's the fact of her not wanting to do it. I think it's the fact that she's going to be in there without myself or her family. When you go to rehab or you go to the hospital, you're going to spend a lot of time alone. And when you're dealing with someone that has abandonment issues going back to her childhood, it's going to traumatize her, no matter how strong someone is, right? So I get what she's going through. So just know, I personally am doing the best I can with what I've got. Her family's doing the best, with what they've got, and same with my family, and same with her friends. We're all encouraging her to do the right thing. And I think she herself knows what the right thing is. It's just she has to make that choice. And she has to understand that she's not going to be alone, because I'm sure you can visit people in rehab, and I would be visiting her every single day. Because wherever she would go for rehab, I would find a place that's as close to where we're going to be living as possible. Folks, before I share the last part here, where I'm going to be talking about my lady, and I want no more drama talk here. Again, we have a few more minutes left. If you folks want to donate tonight, 100% of the donations are going to my lady and her recovery fund. She may not be able to work for a while. She may be even going to rehab. I don't know. I'm going to know more about that tomorrow. But please consider sending a super chat or a super sticker before we go off the air, or once this processes on the replay. It may take up to 12 hours to process. Please consider making the super thanks. in the comments section, or you can donate via Cash App or PayPal. Nightbot's sharing the links every 7 minutes in the chat. Give me just 1 second here. Coach J-Rom says she won't be alone and the time flies by. The groups and activities help and make the time fly by. If it's not too personal to ask, Coach J-Rom, how are you so well versed in this? I mean, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Like, have you had to put somebody in rehab or help somebody that's been in rehab before? Or if it's too personal, bro, you don't have to share it. But I think we could help a lot of people if you do. But that's up to you, man. No pressure, man. So here's the final part. You know, before this all happened, you know, after I did my last walk that I did a couple of days ago, which was on Monday the 5th. I wonder if YouTube demonetized this stream currently. Yep, limited or no ads, but it'll be flipped back by tomorrow. Major updates, and my lady and I want no more drama talk here. I mean, that's as clean as it gets, but I don't think they like the word drama. Let's request review in the middle of the stream. It doesn't matter. Not a big deal. The last stream I did was called "My Final Thoughts on the Drama Surrounding the Legion." If you want to go back and check that out, that's the last time I'm going to be talking about, you know, this one group of people that's been plaguing us for a while. We don't want to talk about it anymore. There's really no point. It's been played out. They're going to do their own thing. We're going to do ours, and we want to move forward with positive people. But if you want to get your fix one last time on me talking about it, go watch my Walking with Purpose stream, episode number 437. That was done on Monday. It's an hour and 37 minutes long. And again, the title is "My Final Thoughts on the Drama Surrounding the Legion." Puppy Lover 46. And we share these stories to help people. And Puppy Lover 46, you're beginning to sound a lot like the drama group from the other side. And she already knows I'm doing this. So what's the problem, Kara? Because honestly, Kara, I don't want to have to remove you. But you sound a lot, and I know you're a part of the other side, their groups. So can you be honest with me, Kara, and say, I mean, honestly, I can talk about whatever. And I made a posting, Kara. Maybe you didn't see it. I will not be told what I can and can't discuss here. And I'm going to ask you one time to either accept that and not question my topic choices, because if anyone questions it again, then I will remove them. And this has been very helpful to many people that have probably gone through this or are going through this. Eli, why are you telling everyone about Lady Baby? First of all, I would appreciate you not calling her Lady Baby, because that's what the trolls call her. This should be private. Lady Baby will not be happy. I know I would. This is a horrible idea, Eli. So let me know, Puppy Lover 46. You sound a lot like the other group. I mean, what do you think, Coach J-Ron? What do you think? It's not cool, Puppy Lover. I don't question what you talk about. If I want to talk about the sky being blue on this channel, I can talk about it. I've been through it for alcohol when I was 17. Oh my gosh, bro. Wow. God bless you, Coach J-Rom. Coach J-Ron, what do you think about what Puppy Lover 46 said? Do you think it sounds a lot like trolling from the other side? Yeah. Give me a second here. Give me a second here. Give me just a second here. All right, you're not respecting my wishes, Puppy Lover, so it's time to let you go. It's time to let you go. Give me a second here. You're clearly. Of course I did. Of course I did. Of course I did. Why? There's no need for anyone to question the topics that I choose here. I made that very clear, and my lady feels the same way. And see, Puppy Lover 46, you're a part of that other group. And you sound exactly like them, and that's why you got removed. And you're blocked on Facebook, too. No opinion on anything drama-related anymore. Okay. I don't think it is any of your business, puppy person. If these two are cool about it, let it be, and don't listen then. Exactly. She's with the other side, Sandra. She started calling her Lady Baby, which is what the other side calls her, and she's probably, been talking about my lady in their chats, and I really don't care. I'm not here to talk about these people anymore. I put out a community posting. I gave her even one warning here in the chat, and she continued to push the buttons. My lady and I have shared our stories out here, and we continue to share our stories and real life experiences to relate to people that are going through these things. It is our choice to do this or any other type of content we choose, as long as we're within the terms of service on YouTube, between community guidelines, copyright, and monetization policies, and we are. And if anyone questions our topic choices, we'll give you one warning, then we'll ban you. So you got banned. And if you want to go to these drama groups and now talk about Eli got banned or I got banned on Eli's channel, well, you wanted to get banned. I'm not upset. It just shows the type of person you are. It shows, your lack of maturity. Tam says, sorry, this isn't my business, but in all honesty, I appreciate you doing this live. Let us know what's happening with D. We are friends, and you're just filling us in on what has happened. Sorry to be rude and just jump in with my opinion. You're not being rude. That's the point of Tam. We love you like family. Same with you, Sandra, and J-Rom, and everyone else that's been here for a while. Again, thank you to Clive Owen for the $200. You're not being rude at all. And yes, that's part of the reason why I decided to do this. But the main reason was, and always is, that my lady and I share our real life experiences with everyone. So you folks can learn from what we've gone through and learn how to handle things better, right? So my lady and I were talking the other day, Monday after my Walking with Purpose stream ended. And we said, no more drama talk. Let's get back to just creating our own coaching content. Absolutely. I agreed with her. Told her she was right. And she is right. And that's what we've decided to do. And that's where we're going from here on out. You know, we came to the conclusion that whatever's needed to be said has been said many, many times, but it's been said finally. Or, finally once and for all. There's nowhere else to go with any of this past drama and stuff. It just doesn't matter anymore, right? And enough people have found out about my lady and I now to the point of where we're going to continue working with those people and continue growing alongside those people. And we're going to also continue sharing our own personal stories and experiences. And you know what? My lady and I, she's my lady. I can talk about my lady all I want. She can talk about me all I want. We've got nothing to hide from each other or from the public. We've got nothing to hide. So what's the problem? Where's the problem? Right? The problem is these people, some people really wish that they had the courage and strength to run almost a 2-hour live stream. We're at 1 hour and 58 minutes and pour your heart out to show respect for your lady and to share our stories so people can better learn from our mistakes and better learn to handle similar difficult situations that most people go through at one point or another in their lives. That's all. So no more drama talk on this channel. You talk drama, you're immediately gone. No warning. It's the bottom line. If you don't like a particular topic that we decide to do here, then sit that one out and come back for a topic you do like. But like I've said many times in community postings lately and on these shows, if you criticize the topics that I choose or my lady chooses or that we choose together, if you criticize our topic choice, we will warn you one time. Then if you keep pushing it, we'll ban you. Change the channel, go watch something else. Come back when there's a topic that you would rather be a part of instead of attacking us. Just like Puppy Lover did. You attacked me. It's the bottom line. You weren't stating your opinion, ma'am. You attacked me. You attacked the fact that I shouldn't be talking about my lady's story, putting it out there, publicly. We choose to do that. It's our prerogative to do that, ma'am. Like it's your prerogative to do what you feel is right for yourself, right? And maybe you've had some past trauma. Maybe you've been in similar situations and maybe you didn't want to, put your story out there. Maybe it touches a nerve because you've been through maybe some things. Maybe you've been through some things like my lady's been through, and you wouldn't want your story out there. Well, ma'am, my lady and I are different. We want to share our stories. You don't. That doesn't mean you have the right to come here and project onto us how you feel we should do things. If you don't like what we're doing, just go somewhere else. That's all. It's real plain and simple. All right. I'm going to get on out of here. I'm going to try to reach out to my lady before I go to bed. It is 2:12 a.m. Eastern, 11:12 p.m. Pacific. Once again, thank you, Carl. Thank you, Clive. Sorry, not Carl. Clive Owen. Thank you, Clive Owen, for the $200 super chat. Greatly, greatly appreciate that, man. Greatly appreciate it. After YouTube takes their cut 30%, it's $130, but still good. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Thank you to Coach J-Rom for being here as well, and all of your great comments and support. Greatly appreciate it, man. Thank you to Tam Tam for your support and your great comments. Thank you to Sandra Palacio for your great comments. Who else was here? I think that was it. A lot of people watching behind the scenes. It's $2.99 per month to chat in the member-only chats. If you truly value this content, $3 per month is not a whole lot of money. And once again, before I go, folks, even once this show ends, you can still donate via Cash App or PayPal. And you can also donate via Super Thanks on the live stream replay. When this finishes processing, probably at some point tomorrow, late morning or early afternoon, over the next 12 hours, you'll see the Super Thanks heart in the comment section. You can send a highlighted comment in the chat. And now, if you do it from the web, if you send a Super Thanks from, a web browser or a laptop or desktop, you can send it up to $500. If you do it from an Android phone or an iPhone, you can only do $2, $5, $10, or $50. And on the iPhone, it's $199, $499, $999, and $49.99. That's how it's done on the iPhone, so you know it's coming from the iPhone. But there are some additional fees on top of YouTube's 30% that Apple gets. So if you donate from an iPhone, Apple takes like another 5 or 10%. So technically, for every super chat sent from the iPhone, the creator gets about 60% of it. And that's okay. Don't let that stop you from donating. It's okay. But if you want us to get the full thing, you can donate via Cash App or PayPal. Cash App is completely anonymous. PayPal does sometimes send billing information, but you can trust that your billing information is safe with me. Tam Tam says you're helping people doing this stream. Thank you, Tam Tam. I greatly appreciate that. I greatly appreciate it. Santa Palacio says night all. Folks, good night. I don't know if I'm going to do any content tomorrow. If my lady's in the hospital for one more night, I will probably go down and visit her and then come back home and maybe do a night stream. If she gets released early and we're back at my place early enough, you may get a stream. Just keep it locked here. I'll keep you in the loop through community postings here on this channel, Coach Eli, 2 authentic live streams, and I'll also share it over on my main channel, Coach Eli, Elias, Melas. With that being said, have yourselves a good one. Take care. And as always, please, folks, be good to each other. Good night.